Tell them to bring me my money.
So Trivia Murder Party 3 was announced a couple days ago, and as you can tell by my voice, I am very excited. Wow. Gee willikers. I am in fact super happy right now. Yay and stuff. But anyways, going over the actual video, I want to talk about minigames that I think will return to Trivia Murder Party 3. I wanted to do this video a lot earlier, but I'm glad I waited because now that we know the actual theme of Trivia Murder Party 3, my original list would have been really long. But yeah, here are 10 minigames that I think will return in Trivia Murder Party 3. Also, I was thinking about doing a video about the dolls and how they're gonna be like the ones we already have. But I decided not to, but I will do a community post sharing the uniqueness of each doll color, because I realized that each doll color actually does have something unique about it. So yeah, that'll be there once this video comes out or whatever. But enough of that, here are the top 10 minigames that I think will return in Trivia Murder Party 3. Side note, minigames that won't be included in this list are chalices and a user wheel, because I'm like 95% sure those are returning, because if they don't, that'd be really weird. But anyways, on to it with number 10. Alright, to be completely honest with you, I don't think Words is coming back. But out of my favorite minigames, it's got the most likely chance of coming back. I say this because it somewhat gets the camping aesthetic. The main point of Words is for you to use the letters that you were given to find the longest word. Whoever doesn't have the longest word is, out, they die, rest in peace. I think this is a good minigame, but a reason that it's probably not coming back is because it's only in Trivia Murder Party 1, meaning its physics and stuff is a little janky and its submit system is kind of odd. I really want it to come back, but I don't think it's coming back. It's just one that I wanted to include here because it at least has a chance, unlike my other favorites like Arena and stuff. Okay, hear me out on this one. I do think Mirror could come back. Mostly because it kind of fits the camping aesthetics, with ghosts and stuff and haunted things. And I think you could somehow fit a mirror in there with, there's mirrors in, cabins and restrooms and all that hunk of junk. However, I don't think it's going to be coming back. At least not above the other 8 that I have to mention in this video. Alright, decisions, and dumb waiters. There's a reason why there's a slash on this one, and this is because I don't think these exact minigames are coming back, but I think they're going to be changed in some way. I mean, they changed decisions to dumb waiters, and since they can't bring the dumb waiters to camping, they're probably going to change it again. I say probably because, this isn't a minigame that we need back or anything. I just think that's probably what they're going to do. I mean, a minigame where you betray your friends? I think that's potentially coming back. This one's a little weird because I honestly don't know if they're bringing back the money minigames. I assume they are. So based on that assumption, the most likely one that's coming back is probably greed. The concept of greed is really simple. If you take the most money, you die, and if you take the least money, you die. It's a really good game to get rid of 2 people immediately, and it's the only one that actually came back from Trivia Murder Party 1. So yeah, out of all the money minigames that we have, I think that one's more likely to come back. They might bring back donations, but they'd have to be feeling charitable with that one. Another slash. This time it's with patterns and memories. Honestly, I don't know why they didn't bring either of these back. This one was a really weird one to just leave out in Trivia Murder Party 1. I think they will bring it back, but I don't think it's going to be the same way it was before. If you're not sure, patterns and memory are 2 different minigames. One is where you remember 6 cards. You either remember the color or the weapon on the card, and then you have to make your selection between those 2. And memory is where you try to remember, a blood sheet and try to remember the pattern that was on the blood sheet, which most people cheat on that one. Most people just take a picture because I ain't remembering that garbage. But I think they're going to try and bring back some sort of memory minigame, but I don't think it's going to be these exact ones. That's why these ones are only number 5 on the list. Alright, now we're getting into some confident areas. Gifts is a minigame that I actually don't think will come back. However, the reason why it's so high on this list is because it's got like one of the coolest concepts in the game, and it'd be very strange for them to just leave that in one iteration of their game. They have no reason not to bring it to this one. It's such a cool concept that, like, you get an item that could either help or hurt you during this game, and if you end off winning with that item, you get one last question in order to determine if you truly win or not. That's, like, so cool, and if they don't bring that back, that's gonna be really sad. This choice, in retrospect, may seem like an odd one, but there's something that you guys are forgetting. This minigame wasn't just in Trivia Murder Party 1. This game's also in Trivia Murder Party 2, just not in the same way it was last time. The way it's in Trivia Murder Party 2 is that it's only available if you get the knife. If you get the knife, either you or your opponents have to cut off one of their fingers, and what that does is that whatever finger you cut off, you can't choose that answer choice anymore. And if you end up getting the only alive person to get a question wrong while holding the knife, you can trade your safety with losing a finger. So you basically escape a question for free, but you lost one of your fingers again. They're definitely bringing this back over gifts, because even if they don't bring back gifts, there's still a chance of this minigame coming back, since it's not exclusively just in gifts. A common theme you might have noticed between these minigames is that they lack the hotel aesthetic. Most of the minigames in Trivia Murder Party 2 had specific items to go with it that were only found in the hotel, like phones, dictation. Those minigames were only possible because of the items used. This minigame has an item, but I think this item is possible to bring to the camping site, and that is skewers. I actually like skewers. It's a pretty chill game, and I think it wouldn't be a surprise if Redacted were to bring their magic prop from cousin whatever her name was and bring it to the campsite. I think it's got a more likely chance of the past games I mentioned, especially since it was mainly introduced in Trivia Murder Party 2, so it doesn't have any weird physics or anything. And also, I don't think many people know this, but there's a unique thing where if only one player gets stabbed, you can tell who gets stabbed based on their screams. Yeah, their screams are not the same if only one person gets stabbed. If two people get stabbed, it's the exact same. But there's a difference between, like, Screamer and the Alpha's scream whenever you stab them. Screamer's like, ah! Or something like that, and then Alpha's more mainly like, ah! Or something like that. But enough with that random hunk of junk. We got 2 more mini games left to talk about, and I think their chances are pretty high. However, the second ranking one has one small issue that puts it below the first one, and that is, rules. I don't think most people like rules, and that's why they're bringing it back. Because, well, why wouldn't you bring a mini game that most people don't like? It's like such a funny thing to do. Plus, it actually fits the camping aesthetic. Following a bunch of rules from your camp guide or whoever you listen to when you go camping. I don't go outside, so I wouldn't know. It's honestly a pretty good minigame to come back, but there's a reason why it's not number 1 here. And it's the issue of the location that it takes place. If you play Trivia Murder Party 2, you would know that this minigame only takes place in a specific room. This room. It cannot take place in any other room, and it was only introduced in Trivia Murder Party 2. That brings it down from like a 80 to like a 75, because I don't know if they're going to keep that aesthetic or not, and I don't know how they would do that. But our number 1 selection has no problem with that, because it was already in Trivia Murder Party 1 and was brought back in Trivia Murder Party 2. But before we get to that, I have one honorable mention that I gotta bring up, because it's a confusing case. Lock and Key, our honorable mention. The reason why I'm honorably mentioning this one is because, well, I don't think they're bringing it back. In fact, I don't think there's any way they're bringing it back. But they do need a minigame that takes place after you reach floor 10, or running 10? I don't know what it's going to be in this game. So, what will that minigame be? Will it just be loser wheel like in Trivia Murder Party 1? Which wasn't a bad idea, but it's pretty scummy that only the richest person would usually succeed, especially since the less rich people have to spin the wheel first. Or are they going to make a new minigame? I think they're going to make a new minigame. But I think it's, like, slimly possible that they bring back Lock and Key. Slimly. But anyways, enough about that. Let's get to our actual numero uno. The best minigame ever is... Yeah, I lied my off for that one. Math is not a good minigame. In fact, I think it's one of the least requested, which is why it's coming back. The doy! Math was a minigame in Trivia Murder Party 1, and they brought back in Trivia Murder Party 2. And they're bringing back in Trivia Murder Party 3. I'm calling it now. There's no way they don't bring this one back. This one is so simple, so basic, and doesn't require many things at all. Now, the reason why this one doesn't have the issue that Rules does is that despite this one only taking place in a specific room in Trivia Murder Party 2, since it was in Trivia Murder Party 1, we know that it can go in any room. Like, any room. So, even outside will be fine, because you just gotta do math outside. You know, not that hard to do. So yeah, that is my Trivia Murder Party minigame list for minigames that I think will most likely come back. If you have a different opinion, that's fine. However, you probably didn't do as much research as I did. But to be fair, I didn't do any research. This is just based on my head. I want to know what you think of this list. If there's minigames that you think should be replaced, that's fine with that. You can comment them down below. And I might do a video on the dolls. But I'll only do that after the dolls are like revealed and stuff, so I can see if they match the specific uniqueness of each color of the doll. Anyways, that's all I have today. Later, skaters. Have fun going outside, or whatever. Bye.